Good morning. Just show me how to clean up my computer. So today I'd like to show you various aspects of cleaning up your computer. We'll be focusing on Windows 10. So first of all, you may have this on your desktop, the recycle bin, and you'll notice that there's papers in mine. And so we're going to right-click the button on your mouse, and you'll see that we could open it by left-clicking that word open. And so we'll see I've got several files in here, about 20 items. You'll notice that's down at the bottom. And you could permanently delete some of them by dragging over several of them. I've selected 10 here, or you could just delete them all. If they're in my recycle bin, I probably want to get rid of all of them. And then you'll notice there's several ways to delete them. We've got a button here that says empty recycle bin. I'm going to close this again. You'll notice that if you right click this recycle bin, one of the options right here would be empty recycle bin. And so I will go ahead and do that. I will do the left click to select that. And now it's going to confirm that I want to delete all 20. And I'll left click to select that. And now you'll notice there's no papers in my recycle bin. All right. Now another dynamic here is this is a box I'd really like you to get used to on Windows 10. It's very helpful in a lot of different ways, but you can click things in here that you want to search, and we're going to search for the word disk cleanup. All right, and you'll see that I didn't even finish typing it, but it popped it up here at the top, and so I'm going to left click that to select it, and it's going to pop up several different things that could be cleaned up. All right, so for instance, downloaded program files, but over here it tells me that I don't really have any memory in that particular category. Temporary internet file would have a little bit. Megabytes is not very huge. I've got some error reports, which is very small. So we've got bytes, kilobytes, megabytes. So all of these are very small. You'll notice that some of these boxes are checked and some are not. That's by default, and you can then change them. But usually the reason they don't have this one checked by default is sometimes those error reports would be helpful to someone at Windows who's trying to help you fix a problem that you're facing. So they don't delete those just by default. All right, so I'm looking through here, and I'm just going to trust what they have by default, and I'm going to recommend you do the same. Now, if I had lots and huge files in here, so now we're talking about lots of megabytes or gigabytes, well, then I might choose to get rid of some of those. But these are very, very small. They're not going to be taking much room. I have 187 downloads, so that might be something I'd like to clean out. All right, and recycle bin, by the way, is a part of this. So if you don't do that on a regular basis, you could catch it when you come to the disk cleanup. And I might recommend that you put this on your calendar every month to remind you to take care of that. Temporary files. Again, I don't have much in here, but if you have some big numbers in here, I'd get rid of temporary files. Thumbnails. I've got a fairly large, almost a gig of thumbnails. And again, that would be little pictures to represent some files that you've looked through, and I don't necessarily need to keep all of those on there. So long story short, I'm going to take what they've selected for me, and I'm going to add temporary files. I'll add recycle bin, even though we've already emptied it, and I'm going to add downloads. Wow, can't believe I'm doing that. Those are files that you downloaded from the internet and used. And so there's quite a few things that I probably have in there. I try to remove them from that folder if I'm actually going to use them. And they kind of stay in that folder if I used it once and now I'm done. So now we could clean it. Okay, so now I'm going to hit OK. And it says, are you sure you want to? And I'll say sure. And now they're going to go and they're going to clean up those things that we've told them to. And it kind of keeps your machine running and tip-top. I'll show you one more thing. We're going to go down to the Windows icon here in the bottom left. We'll left-click it. We'll go up to the settings. Remember, that's the second one up. And we'll left-click that. We'll go to System and left-click that. And then you'll notice down here on this file system here that storage is, 6 or 7 down. And this tells you how much storage you have. Now this particular computer, I just put 120 gig SSD drive in it, and it works super well. I'm really happy with it. But you'll notice I've used half of it already. Now, I am not a big proponent of flooding your computer with all kinds of files, so I'm very fine with 120 gigs on this laptop, as long as you're kind of maybe store your big files on an external drive or out in the cloud. So I kind of keep it clean and keep it slim, because that'll keep things running well. And that kind of breaks down how much you have in various spots here. And of course, I've been zooming and do pictures a lot, and so I do have a fairly large number of pictures, and so I could be removing these to an external hard drive, which would then of course free me up some more space. But I'm doing great. 65 gigs is completely fine. But the other reason I brought you here is Storage Sense. And I've clicked Storage Sense on, and this automatically cleans some things. And so if you click Storage Sense on, and then you could even, I tell it to every week check some things. I have it deleting temporary files if I haven't used them in 14 days. And so then we could hit clean now. And so this is going to go and clean up some things. Also, when Windows does downloads, sometimes the old version of the Windows is still in the background, and the Storage Sense would clean that up after a period of time. So they cleaned up 13 megabytes of space. You'll notice that there was overlap in the 3 different things that I showed you, but just to give you a little sense of how you can get to the various things. So it told us that we're done. This little check mark down here by the clean now. So there is a short video on how to keep your computer up to date and clean, and thanks so much for joining me.